Alright, as promised, I'm doing a remake of this theory. There's not too much new stuff I put in this, but I think I've just explained some of my details better. And again, a big thank you for our 50 subscribers. And also, I have a Twitter account now, which we link down below. Before I get to the theory, I want to go over the prophecies in both games, because I think it's important to talk about them again. Undertale's prophecy is quite short, stating, however, there is a prophecy, the angel, the one who has seen the surface. They will return and the underground will go empty. And Delatrune has a very long one, but the important parts are the heroes will appear at World's Edge, or only then, shining with hope. And it says there's a human, a monster, and a prince from the dark. Only they can seal the fountains and banish the angel to heaven. Okay, so already I have a few issues with these two prophecies. First of all, for Undertale, the idea that the underground goes empty never happens in the game. It gets close a few times, but never fully. And if that is neutral, it's implied you're in a different save file, and that your save file is mostly untouched. Azure tries to empty the underground by absorbing all the souls, but it's confirmed that Nabsbluk is not absorbed in this eventuality. In the ending of True Pacifist, it's stated that some stay in the underground. A few people had an issue with this statement, so I'll go in more detail in a second. In a genocide run, Hotland is evacuated, meaning you can't kill everyone, and also when Kara destroys everything, that means they are also destroying the underground, meaning it can't be empty. There's a few issues with the Delatrune one as well. Most of these are because Rousey seems to hide information from us, but a few of the more specific ones are the Angel's Heaven seems to look like a dark fountain from what we've seen of it, based on the drawings, and it says we need 3 heroes to seal both of them, and yet we've only ever seen Susie and Chris steal them, or even just Chris sometimes. I had another theory about this, but for the argument of this, I'm just going to say it's like an inconsistency. The 3 heroes on World Edge is odd because we never explained where that is and what it means. And also it says that only after the drawing they will appear, but we already have appeared. Also, the first one says the drawing will happen, and then you have to stop it. But the second one says that you need to stop it before it happens, meaning there's an inconsistency between 2 of the prophecies of Delatrune. Back to the point of the underground not going empty in the pacifist. I went back through the game and tried to find as many examples as I can. I might have missed a few, so if anyone knows of more, leave them down below. But in each of these examples, we see a monster either still being in the underground or stating they're gonna stay here. The only one I do pause with is the first one, just because it seems to be like a joke. Of them being like, oh, I'm gonna stay in this hotel because I don't want people to think I made a mistake. But other than that, I think these are all good examples of someone staying in the underground after the game ends. Okay, as for the stories, I know this sounds weird to explain this now, but I think it's going to be important, and I think you will understand why in a second. In Undertale, you meet a bunch of people, but the main ones we focus on are Chris, Kara, and Flowey. At the end of the game, the angel will create a void or a new world based on their desires that you'll either have to stop or you'll have to let happen. In Delatrune, you beat a bunch of friends, but the ones we're going to focus on are Chris, Susie, and Rousey. We are told that an event will happen where the angel will enact their will, causing all dark worlds and light worlds to go empty of living creatures, e.g. the Roaring. Interesting, these stories are following the prophecy of the game they're not from. So if you look, Deltarune's story is very similar to Undertale's prophecy and vice versa. And that leads me onto my actual theory. My theory, or the verse prophecy theory, is the theory that the 2 main prophecies originated from the other game, with them being fitted to the new universe they are found in, while also explaining why these prophecies never come true in the respective games. but these prophecies could be moved to the other, which will cause them to actually make more sense within the new universe. In Undertale, Deltrune's prophecy becomes one of Frisk the human, Kara the prince, prince can be non-binary, and Flowey the monster, with the angel making the heaven, the void that Omega, Flowey, Azrael, Dreamer, and Kara appear in. In Delatrune, Undertale's prophecy becomes the idea that the dark worlds will run empty, and the angel causes the roaring, turning them all into stone. I also touch on my opinions on the angels in conjunction with this story. Here are who I think Undertale's angels are, and how I think they fit into the angel's heaven idea. Flowey, his heaven is the idea of a universe where everyone's dead, which is kind of what he keeps on saying he wants. Azrael, his heaven is a place with no time where he can spend the rest of eternity with Kara. And Kara is a world where nothing exists. As they followed you on the Jenna run, they want everything to be 100% complete, and 100% complete of Jenna run is erasing like everything around them. And some possible candidates for the angel in Delatrune are Noelle and Chris, and I think Noelle would try and save her father, and would hear of it about the angel's heaven, think it would be a good thing, but if the angel heaven doesn't exist in Delatrune, and instead it's just the roaring, she will accidentally cause the end of the world. And Chris may intend to cause the roaring on purpose to sever our connection to them, as if the Dark Worlds don't exist, in a meta sense the game can't exist. Now, the big question is how and why did this happen? And to answer that, I think we need to think about who made these prophecies in the first place. In Deltarune, it can be assumed that Rouse was told the prophecies by Gaster, which could mean that Gaster is the one who made the prophecy for the Deltarune universe, or at least which could mean that Gaster made Deltarune's prophecy. If we use the idea that Deltarune's characters do the same or similar things to their Undertale counterparts in the surface, then it could make sense that, or if Gaster made the prophecy in Deltarune, Gaster also made the prophecy in Undertale. And when he went to core, that could be when and how they got shattered across the two universes. Anyway, my overall thoughts for this are that I did this really can explain what World's Edge is, as it would refer to the edge of the underground or the entrance to it. The difference between the first prophecy in Deltarune and the second one not lining up, because the first one states you should stop the roaring or the Aegis Heaven after it's happened, while the second one is the other way around. The Prince from the Dark being what different than Rousey's title, which is Prince of the Dark. Oh wait, no. The Prince from the Dark is the title, and Rousey's title is Prince of the Dark, because it might not be referring to them, and instead being a Prince from the Dark, or Kara coming from the the other side, the death, the void, wherever Kara came from. And another thing is, I don't think this is true. I do generally think the prophecies are meant for their games, but I had this thought and I thought it was a really fun one, and I wanted to share it. But other than that, I just want to say thank you for 50 subscribers. I will be working on a redo of my magic ratio theory, which should come out whenever I get to 100. And that is already 20 minutes longer than the original, so that's going to be quite exciting. Anyway, as I mentioned, I have a new Twitter account. Also, I'm working on Undertale mod, and there'll be more information about that on Sunday. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed.